Hello and welcome to the next vlog. We're back to boats this week. So this one is all about sort of freshening up the gunnels and the roof, the sides of the roof, the guttering. So looking along here on the gunnels, it's not coming out too well, but it's pretty patchy and has been sort of irritating me for quite a long time. I think with the amount of sun and wear it gets, it's a bit of a pain. So I was recommended this product. It's like a sort of a black paint with suspended beads in it, which sort of gives it or sort of adds to the non-slip side of it. So it just needs a lot of stirring, and then you just apply it and paint it on, which is quite easy. I've not actually done it exactly how you're supposed to do it on here. It's supposed to go one way and then paint it the 90 degrees the other way, but didn't really seem that necessary on such a small area. It seemed to come up all right anyway. The edging strip that I'm using, that blue stuff, that came from B&Q, and that turned out to be a bit of a mess because I had to leave it on the boat for a while. The glue stayed on when I took it off, and it just kept ripping when I took it off as well, so it's not the sort of stuff I'd be buying again. Used the white stuff from B&Q as well, and that did the same thing, even worse. So a couple of things to avoid there. The paint comes in a range of colours, so you don't have to have black. You can have all sorts of funky bright colours if you wanted to make a statement, as they say, but chose to stay conservative. And here's the finished result. Made quite a big difference to it, with it all being such a darker colour black. Looked a bit more finished, so I was really pleased with that, and it didn't take too long either. Obviously it's quite a small area. This bit was smooth before, but you can see the beading on it very closely, but yeah, it's just black, shiny, and with a waterproof sort of bobbly effect on it. It was a good result. All in all, really pleased with that, and easy to do. And now the main part of the show. Now this area has bugged me for a long time, right at the top with the guttering. See the red strip along the top. It's got lots of chips in it, lots of bits of rust, lots of scratches where we've hit, bridges have been hit, shall we say, and it's got a bit of rust around the rope holders here, so I don't know if you can see the detail there, but it's very discoloured. I partly started prepping it here. It wasn't actually this bad, but yeah, you can see there's differences in shades of colour, which you can notice there. And it's just generally looking a bit sad, and since I did the roof the other week, it was looking even worse, so I thought I'd better have a go. The area with the rope bit, looked around the marina, and lots of boats have this, so I was sort of thinking I'm going to have to tackle this sooner rather than later. So here goes, and sure enough, as with I think a lot of boaters find, the screws are very small in this, surprisingly small considering the amount of sort of pressure and strain that they're under, and I think it's very rare you can get these off in one hit without the screws breaking because they're so small, and sure enough that's what happened here, I'm afraid. As you can see my concentration. Right, some viewers may be getting alarmed here. No, this is my plan B bit here, trying to get this off. The screws had just stopped coming out and just rounding them, so I just had to break them off. Really difficult actually doing this while trying to protect the roof. Obviously I've just spent a lot of time painting this roof, so I don't want to scratch it or knock it at all, and it's not easy. So yeah, I mean, this is probably not how you should be doing this when you can get a crowbar in your belly, but getting a little bit insistent that this was going to come off, so just trying all sorts of different ways to persuade it, I think is the word I'm looking for. Not really sure about this technique. It's got disaster written all over it, but there you go, some sort of use of the belly area here, so I do apologise. And this is the problem where a couple of screws came out. Well, one came out, one broke, and the other one just will not budge. So have to start getting inventive and get the pliers on that and get that out. But this is really a common problem on these boats. The screws just snap because they're so small, and the rust just eats them away. Since sort of wondering whether to put these back on, I've noticed lots of boats don't even have these now. So at the moment, it's not got these on at all. I'm going to get some bigger bolts and pop them back on at a later date, because they are useful to have and stop the rope rubbing on your paintwork. But you can see the problems of preparing for this. Yay! Right, now we can see the problem. I look very concerned here. I'm not really quite sure why, but I probably go around looking like that all the time, so I do apologise. Yes, time to sort out the rust. This side's not too bad. The other side is a lot worse. But yeah, you can see the broken off screws. The rubber's all perished as well, which is designed to keep the brass off the steel, which causes problems. So I'll be replacing all that. But yeah, so there you are. Just trying to see what the damage is really now. Scrape away at it. Now putting rust treatment on all the patches that I've been scraping away on. This is sort of the day before I'm going to paint. You see the holes. So going back to my classic mini days of restoration, use P38 and P40. Those of you who've done any sort of restoration will know all about that. Fills holes nicely and makes a good base for painting on as well. So that'll smoothen that out. This is until I can sort out the bigger bolts and putting the rope holder back on there. And now the fun begins. This is actually done on the hottest weekend of the year, so it goes against all the advice for painting in the heat. This is done in the evening. I think it's about sort of 7-8 o'clock, something like that. So it was drying pretty quick. It was sort of starting to congeal in the tin. So this is not how you should do it. But one hidden benefit of that is because it was drying so quickly, I didn't get a lot of spiders or bugs on it, which is nice. So that's helped me on that front. But yeah, definitely quite a stressful way of doing it because you cannot stop. Once you start, you just have to go until you're finished. And you can't paint back either because it dries almost immediately. And a visit from the boss to see how I'm doing. Yep, all systems go. And here we are. This is after a couple of coats put on. Ignore the green strip, that will come off. But yeah, it went on remarkably well considering how poor the conditions were for doing it. It's quite shiny as well, which is nice. Certainly makes a big difference than the faded red. So I'm well chuffed with that. And now the moment of truth. With my experience of these masking tapes, I was a little bit apprehensive here with this one, but to my surprise, it was really good. This is one of the better ones. I'll go through the actual tape later, but I will allow you to see here the unmasking, as you say. This tape is really good. If you read the instructions on it, it's completely the wrong tape to use on a boat. It's for use inside and all that sort of thing. However, it all came off in one strip. There were no runs underneath it, and it didn't leave any tacky mess either, so I can highly recommend it. Considering this had been on the boat for 3 or 4 days now, it had been very, very hot, so I was really pleased with how it came off, and this is the end result. So I think it looks nice. And this is the tape if anyone wants to do any sort of similar jobs. Just available from B&Q, just standard stuff. But it was really good. It's much better than all the other ones I've tried. Anyway, thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Bye bye.